Hello.
Hi, Jeremy. It's Tammy. I want to apologize to you about the confusion. And if I understand you feeling like, I misled you. I made a mistake, and I'm sorry. And I can send you this estimate of our insured. Then you'll see where it says $4,285 minus their $1,000 minus their. Well, they have a deductible. But the number that I gave you, I was looking at his, and I'm very sorry that I did that. And so that's when I called you back before I sent the property damage report to say, I made a mistake. And you can even call the independent appraiser if you want to. They don't have anything to do with this except that we hire them, independently as a contractor to confirm that this is your estimate. There was no other estimate.
Well, the estimate that you talked about, you even specifically mentioned that there was more damage beyond that wasn't calculated in because there was unseen structural damage. We had the car appraised, and our appraisal was at $3,700. So our original conversations and our appraisal that we got separately from yours kind of synced up. And when you offered the $4,200, the $4,285.58 as the settlement on the car, that's what you had said. And I've got the voicemail from you, and then several conversations that we had was that, and that's when I accepted, I'll take that payoff and I'll repair the car myself.
Okay. The original conversation, the very first conversation was that it was $1,725, and somehow
you've never said that number to me before. You said you gave me that number after you were sending me the signature paperwork, and that was a half an hour after we had talked with the other numbers.
Okay.
So I'd never heard the $1,700 before.
About when, hold on just a second. In the very beginning, but
your first appraisal, you quoted me.
I made a mistake. Okay. It says, view the estimate pictures, damages fall in line with 40% loss. Our guy reports its total loss, likely has hidden damage to interstructural sheet metal. And does that report say that does your report say that, the one I sent you?
The one that you sent me just now? Yesterday?
Yesterday,
But see, that was after our conversations. That's not the conversations we've had for the last couple of weeks.
Can I ask you something?
Go ahead.
The report that I sent you yesterday says, does it say anything about interstructural? Yes, it does. It says this vehicle is a total loss at the point, and it's likely additional hidden damage to the interstructural sheet metal. Okay. If you could only see my if you could see the screen of my thing, I'm looking at the condition report, and then I clicked up, and I hit another estimate. And I'll show you. I'll send this estimate to you right now if you want to see the other guy's estimate.
Well, we've had these discussions for several weeks. Suddenly, after you send me the signature paperwork, yes, you did.
Never, sir.
I have a voicemail of you with you quoting that.
When did I tell you that?
I got the voicemail. I will post it on YouTube, and I can send you a link. That was earlier this week.
Okay, exactly. And I was focusing on that, and it was a mistake.
Okay.
It was a mistake, okay?
You quoted me previously an estimate for $3,400 for the repair of my car, and that's when you first started talking about the unlisted damage and that it was probably going to be a total loss. That was 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago that we had that conversation. I've got a separate appraisal saying $3,700 in damage, and now you're giving me $1,700 after we had all these other conversations.
The value of your car?
I'm not talking about the value of my car. I'm talking about what you offered and what we discussed. And then now you're changing it when you're going to go and make me the offer.
I don't. If you have something, Jeremy, your value of your car is not even $3,000. I would not have ever told you $3,000. It's on purpose. Okay, I never would have done that.
Well, we've been talking about this for weeks, and you have been.
Well, I don't.
This $1,700 is something you blindsided me with after I agreed to your settlement. This is the first time you ever said $1,700. This is the first time any number less than $3,000 was even mentioned about my car. because your original talks about what it would take to fix my car was $3,400 plus unknown damages. So
Okay.
this is
What I'm telling you is,
this isn't
if I do
right.
that,
You,
I didn't do it on purpose. And you know what? The figures are there, and if you want, I can send you the estimate of the other person's car and tell.
I don't want the other person's car. He hit me.
Exactly. I can't offer you something because I made a mistake like that. Your car isn't worth that much money.
Okay,
Car isn't even worth
you made
that.
the offer. You said this is what was going to be. This is what we were going to do. We were going to cut a check.
I called you back and said I made a mistake, and I sent you something in writing. I saw that I made a mistake, and I sent you something in writing. This was not a purposeful thing, and I'm sorry that you feel that you have.
$1,700 isn't going to fix my car. It's not even close to fixing my car.
Your car is a total loss.
No, my
it's
car
not.
works.
Okay.
He's
Then
done
you can
physical
fix it
body
if you want
damage to my car.
If you want, you can fix it. With the property damage.
But I want what you guys have been
Really?
offering, what you've been leading up to this point until you hit me with this other number.
No, that's incorrect. I can't do
Okay.
that.
Then you
It
can
was
contact my
nothing.
insurance. I've got a recording of you making that offer, and I called back and accepted it based on good faith on the numbers that you've been giving me this whole time. And now to come back and give me a third of it isn't right.
Listen, I did tell you that, and I called you back, and I gave you
That's not even the first time you told me that
You
number,
told-
though, Tammy. That's the
Why
second.
are you focusing on that? You're focusing only on the one mistake I made, and I didn't make it several times. No, I did not.
I got a voicemail plus our conversation yesterday. Twice you
Our
gave me that
conversation-
same total.
Okay,
Twice you gave me
Jeremy,
that same total, Tammy.
I don't have an argument to make with you.
Okay.
And originally, I told you it was the estimate of 1725.40.
No,
It's
you
a
never
total
said that
loss.
number.
Okay, originally, in January, that's what it was, and you're like,
That's not what you gave us.
no.
No, in
Okay,
January
we
you told
wanna
me
keep our car.
3,400.
Okay, and so yesterday you are basing everything on this. You're basing it on my telling you that, and then me calling you back and telling you I made a mistake. Okay, you're not listening to anything. You're only basing it on what you want to hear.
I hear you giving me a number that is significantly less than everything else we've discussed for the last month. Significantly less. That's less than half of every conversation that we've had prior to this.
I think you must be mistaken.
No, ma'am. You've told me 3,400, then you've told me the 4,200, and these are numbers that you gave me.
That's not correct.
Never,
I'm sorry. You must be
never
wrong.
have you given me 1,700 until you emailed me that
You
yesterday.
must be mistaken, Jeremy. You must be mistaken.
No.
Because I didn't do that.
I've got you on voicemail, and we had that conversation yesterday, and you said that you had this conversation with me yesterday, and then you called me back afterwards. You know you've told
That's
me these
right.
numbers.
Yes, I did. That's right. I called you back to say I made a mistake yesterday. I called you back for
But that's not the
30
first
minutes
time you
of that
told me
mistake.
that number. This whole conversation leading me up to
No.
agree to your
Okay.
settlement was a different set
I
of
think you
totals.
Sorry, I think you must be mistaken.
No, ma'am.
Okay, there's nothing I can do. What do you want to do? Do you want to fix your car for the $1,700, or do you want to total your car?
I want the money you guys have been offering me.
Well, you're asking for something that's not.
No,
Realistic.
you've been offering me, and I accepted your offer, and now you've changed it. I
No,
want something
I offered you
equitable
what-
that's going to be able to get my car back to the way I want it.
I offered you what I sent you in the mail on
And
the
that
email,
was
and there's
not
nothing
what
different.
we've discussed.
I called you back 30 minutes after I made the change. There's nothing else I have to say. If you have anything else to say, you can.
We had a
whatever you
verbal
need to
agreement on
do.
that we talked about, and it matches the numbers that was on the voicemail that you left for me.
And I called you back 30 minutes later.
After you sent me the paperwork and changed everything. Yes, you did. And I didn't agree to that total, and I still don't agree to that total. Yes, you did.
I didn't change anything.
Tammy,
I
you
just
changed
told
it.
it.
All the numbers we talked about, you just changed. After
didn't
I
make
agreed,
changes.
you
I
changed it.
didn't make. Listen, don't call me something that's not true.
I didn't call
did
you
not
anything.
do that.
I have said that you've been
You-
talking
you
a
were-
whole different set of numbers than what you called me back and changed.
I only told you 30 minutes later after the mistake. I'm not going to say this again. I'm finished with this conversation. You can call me back and tell me if you want to have your car totaled.
Can you have
or
your
if you want
supervisor call me?
$1,700. I sure will.
Thank
And he
you.
will call you tomorrow. Thank you.
Appreciate that.
Change the numbers on me.